Hello friends, it is time for June budget. Wait, no, not June. Hello friends, it is time for the July budget. Yes, that's right, I said July. I want to go ahead and get right into June's budget. I would like to set up the budget before the month begins. June starts middle of next... July starts the middle of next week, and I must be prepared for the new month. Okay, it is budget time. We are in the budget, and first of all, I have a couple of notes. I am going to maybe try to change when my Verizon bill comes in, and I did look this up, and it actually is due on the 10th of the month, which is like in the middle, but my bill comes really early. It comes like around the 20th or somewhere between the 20th and 25th of the month before, which is nice that they give me so much time to pay the bill, but I like to pay the bills right away, but at the same time that is for the bill that goes into the next month, and so then which month do I put that payment in? Doesn't really matter as long as I keep track of it. I know that it's coming out and I keep track of when it comes out, and I don't know if I'm going to actually change this bill. I'm either going to do that or I am going to make this be an automatic payment. If I can set that up through my bank, because the bills come to my bank, so I might be able to do that rather than changing the date. But if you have a bill that you are just flustered with the date, you can always change the date of your bill. You just might have to like pay a little bit more all at once in order for them to adjust when the bill comes. So it's, they have to like prorate it the way that it works if your bill is going to change. But keep that in mind if you have a really tricky date that a certain bill gets paid. Also, I am going to be making a new category in my budget called subscriptions category, and I am going to kind of lump in several different subscriptions that I have, and I will talk about that when I get to it. So as far as the rest of my budget, everything is cleaned out and everything is ready to go. We're mostly going to be working over in this section. Whoops. I think that says June. That does say June. I need to change that to July. And the first thing I like to do is look at my sinking funds just to put all that back the way that it's supposed to be and measure everything out. So my emergency fund doesn't really change. You may notice it used to be $500. It is now $1,000. I am still keeping $250 in my main checking account, $250 in my Capital One checking account because that's where I pay my credit cards. I use my credit cards for the cashback bonuses, but then the payments automatically come from there, and I transfer the money from my main bank account to my Capital One account so that it looks like it's been paid out of my main bank account. And then those bills, I pay the bills, and if I don't, they're automatically set to be paid in full so that I do not pay interest. If you want to know more about how I use my credit cards responsibly, I will leave a link in the description that takes you to that video. So anyway, I also have $500 that I am keeping all the time in a separate savings account just as a full $1,000 emergency fund rather than the $500 that I used to keep. It just makes me feel safer and more protected as far as like how much money I have in case of emergencies. I think that this is more prudent, especially considering that my parents are not quite in the best shape to help me financially when if I need it, and they also don't have a spare car like they used to have, and my car has been starting to have a few more troubles, and so just I feel safer having a bigger emergency fund than I used to. So moving on to the rest of my sinking funds, what I do each month at the beginning is I take my total from over here and move it to where I'm starting. So you can see starting in the fund for the month. So I have to adjust all of this because this is last month's information. You can see I've spent some money from my sinking funds in the month of June. You'll have to check out my June budget update to see what exactly I spent all this money on. So I'm going to go ahead and fill all of this in. All right, I'm not really sure what's going on. This number right here, 2050, should match with this number right here, 2075, and I'm not really sure why it's not matching. So I'm gonna have to investigate that. I'm going to be adding $250 to my sinking funds no matter what. So my budget really is slightly complicated sometimes. So anyway, I'm just going to have to look at this again later and try to figure it out later. But I know that I'll be adding $250 and that's not going to change. So let's go ahead and go up here and look at the rest of my budget and see what else needs to be changed. The other thing that I want to do before I forget is actually change to one of my categories to subscriptions. So HP Instant Ink is now subscription, and I'm also going to change that over here. So this is actually going to include several different subscriptions. It's going to include HP Instant Ink, which is $5.29. It's also going to include my Apple storage, which is 99 cents a month. And it's also going to include my Amazon Prime, which is $13.69, and my Netflix, which is $9.48. If I add any other subscriptions in there, this is the category where it will go. I am considering Disney Plus at least for a few months just to watch some things that I really want to watch and see. If I have any other subscriptions, then this is where that's going to go. So just to make sure that I get my total right, I'm going to add it. $5.29 plus 99 cents plus $13.69 plus $9.48. So that is $29.45 for subscriptions. So now I am actually going to change my budget. Generally, this is now the new amount, $29.45. So I need to change that to this month is $29.45. I also have hidden right here. This is my budget for a bare bones budget if I ever need to go into a bare bones budget. So let me unhide this and show you this is what my bare bones budget would look like. So if I had to go to a bare bones budget, I would get rid of Amazon Prime and Netflix, but I think I would continue to keep HP Instant Ink at the lowest amount, $5.29, and keep my Apple storage at 99 cents. So my new bare bones budget for this category would be $6.28. So now I'm going to rehide this because I don't really need the bare bones budget unless I'm actually using it. So I'm going back to the top. Church, actually I'm in this column because this is what is going to be spent for this month. So for church, that is a flat $150 every month now. That's something that I changed recently. I don't tell how much I'm going to put towards savings. If I put any money towards savings, I have no idea why it says $500. That is not the right amount. I have not been keeping track of that on my budget sheet. So I don't really know why it says that. But anyway, well, actually, I should have around $500 in that account at all times. 34 cents must be interest accrued from somewhere, but I actually still have my savings to put towards debt in there. So it's actually like way more than that, but pretty soon that might be a little bit more accurate as I keep track of that, and probably all of my interest that I earn in my Capital One 360 accounts might end up going in that account just to accrue interest. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with the interest yet, so I haven't fully decided. I don't say how much I'm going to put towards savings if I put any money towards savings unless I know I need to refill it. So nothing goes there even if I end up putting it towards savings instead of an extra student loan payment. Moving on, my rent is $200. That pays for my Nelnet undergrad degree, which the payment is actually less, but I put the full $200 in a separate account, and then all of that money will get paid towards that student loan. I just go in and make an extra payment so that it all goes to that student loan. My graduate loan payment is from Navient, and that minimum payment is $72.52. My extra student loan payment, I calculate this at the end, how much that's going to be. But as of right now, everything is still in savings to be put towards debt. But I'm hoping that by the end of July, I have actually made that payment, cleared that account down to $500, and just have my regular savings. So I'll put this in the end, and I'll put this under extra student loan payment for this month. My extra checking account is just half my emergency fund. Well, not half. It's now a quarter of my emergency fund. And then my sinking funds are always $250 unless I'm on a bare bones budget. My subscriptions are now $29.45. Verizon, my bill is usually just under $54, so that's where I keep it. Gas for my general budget is $50. I brought it down last month to $25 because we've been in quarantine. We haven't been going anywhere. $25 is about one tank. It's actually a little bit more than one tank, but I just calculate $25 increments at a time to count per fill up, just in case the gas prices are running high. So I actually have been working and driving downtown every day, so I need more gas money. I'm filling up my tank about once a week, so that would be about $100 in order to pay for gas for this month for all the driving that I am doing. I hope that that is more than enough to cover what the driving that I'm doing. Groceries is $100. I'm actually going to bring this up to $150 for this month because there are some things that I would like to get from the grocery store, and I haven't been to the grocery store in a while because I way overspent way back in March and April. So there's just some things that I'd like to get. So I am going to take that up just a little bit so that I have food for at work and my summer work anyway. I will be telling more about my summer work and my summer job in my June budget update, and you'll get to hear a little bit more about what I'm doing. So you can look forward to that. Teaching. It is going into July. July and August are the 2 months of the year where I spend the most money in my teaching budget, because this is where I am setting up my classroom, getting things ready to go, making sure that everything is good, replacing things that broke the last year, buying new things that I've been wanting for a long time and keep putting off, and just slowly building up my classroom resources. So for the month of July, I am actually going to raise this up to I want to say $300, but I'm just afraid it's going to be more than that. But I really am going to do my best to keep it down. I'm going to say $300 for right now. And if I spend more than that in July, I'm going to be okay with that. That's just the rule. I'm trying to think of everything that I really need or really want to buy. And there is a lot of stuff, and it would be really expensive. But do I really need all of it right now? That's the question that I have to ask myself when I start buying things. Like, is this something I have to buy right now, or can it wait till later in the year and spread that amount out a little bit more so that I'm spending closer to like $60 to $100 a month rather than, $1,000 all at once? So I don't know. I'm just going to put $300 for now. Spending money. I feel I was going to raise this, but you know what? Because all of my subscriptions are now going into that new category, I feel like that gives me a pay raise in spending. Like, I now have a full $60 I can spend rather than like $20 or $30, because half of it's going to Netflix and Amazon Prime. So I'm actually just going to keep it at $60. And restaurants. I have been struggling a little bit with eating out. I'm on the road a lot, but I really have been diligent about taking food to work. I think I'm actually going to just leave this at 40 and just leave it at 40 and just try not to spend much from restaurants. And then my health budget is $50. I don't know if anything's going to be done with that. Before the pandemic, I was planning on joining a gym. Now, I don't know that that's going to happen, at least not for quite a while. I'm just going to leave it at 50. If I need extra grocery money or something along those lines that has to do with my health, I guess, then I can just take from that budget right there. So that is all of the different categories. My total that I will be spending this month according to plan is $1,455.97. So that means that I have $751.79 to go to debt That is way less than my targeted $1,100. I can't even remember what it was. $751.79. There we go. Okay, now it's even. So it is way less than I normally put, or normally try to put $1,100. But that's still a really good chunk of change to put towards debt. And keep in mind, I said I've been working and I am making a decent amount of money per hour this summer, and working a good number of hours too. So that's kind of why this video's up a little bit late. I was hoping to get this video up on Friday, but it's Saturday that this is going out, so I'm sorry about that. But you know, I'm working a lot. That's just the way it goes sometimes. So it's okay. I think that's it for the budget. It's ready to go. That wraps up my July budget setup. As you can see, there are some changes that I've made to the budget. And if you are interested in me helping you set up a more simplified budget compared to mine, because I've been doing this for a very long time, so my budget has really gotten complicated. And if you need some help setting up a simple budget, leave me a comment down below and let me know, and I will make a video all about setting up maybe your first ever budget. That may sound scary to you, but it's not as bad as you think. It really isn't. It takes time, it takes practice, but you can get it and it'll be fine. So of course, leave me a comment down below if you would like for me to make that video. And of course, don't forget to like that video and subscribe if you are not already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.